didn't say a word. You didn't move, but your dog already knew something was wrong. The question is, how? For years, we've told ourselves a comforting story, that dogs feel what we feel, that they share our sadness, our anxiety, our joy. But science asks a different question. Do dogs actually feel our emotions, or do they simply detect them? In 2024, researchers published a study in Scientific Reports, part of the Nature family. It began with 11 human volunteers. Each of them experienced two very different states, one carefully designed to create stress and another meant to bring calm. During both moments, researchers collected something invisible, traces of sweat and breath, captured on sterile cotton pads and sealed inside glass jars. The dogs never saw the people. They only smelled what those emotions left behind. Then came the dogs, 18 of them, each invited into a task called a cognitive bias test. First, the dogs learned two simple truths. One place meant food, another meant nothing at all. But the real question came later. When researchers placed an empty bowl in between, somewhere uncertain, how quickly a dog moved toward that bowl revealed something deeper. Running fast suggested optimism. Hesitation, or staying back, signaled caution. And what happened next was unexpected. When dogs were exposed to the scent of human stress, their behavior shifted. They slowed down. They hesitated. They treated uncertainty as risk. Before each test, the odor samples, cotton pads sealed inside small glass jars, were left untouched for 30 minutes. Then, and only then, the jar was opened. The dog was allowed to smell for just 20 seconds. No faces, no voices, no visual cues, only scent. And that scent alone changed how the dogs judged the world. Faced with the ambiguous empty bowl, they were less willing to approach, slower, more cautious than when no human odor was present. A single invisible signal was enough to tilt their expectations. For dogs, smell is not just information, it's context. Their brains don't read scent on its own. They integrate it with sound, with posture, with subtle shifts in facial tension. A breath held a fraction too long, a voice slightly tighter than before, a body that moves just a bit differently. All of these signals arrive together. What humans label as emotion isn't felt by dogs the same way. Instead, it becomes a pattern, a multi-sensory map that helps them predict what comes next. Not empathy, but alignment. But here's where the story changes. A 2024 review in Animal Cognition found something subtle but critical. Dogs can distinguish authentic human emotions, but that doesn't mean they empathize. In the study, dogs' owners first watched emotionally charged videos, happy, sad, or neutral. These clips stirred real feelings in the humans, shaping what the dogs would sense next. The experiment had two phases. In the first, the emotion induction phase, owners watched the videos while their dogs stayed nearby, freely observing. In the second, the training task phase, owners guided their dogs through a new action, like navigating an obstacle and returning to them. Dogs' responses shifted subtly, reflecting the emotions they had just sensed. Here's the key. When an owner is sad, dogs tend to keep their distance, make less eye contact, and respond more slowly to commands. But when an owner is happy, everything changes. Dogs perform tasks more eagerly, react faster, and engage more. Their behavior directly mirrors the emotional state of their human. This shows dogs aren't just reading faces or tone of voice. In real-life settings, they sense their owner's emotional state and adjust their behavior accordingly. They recognize, they predict, they adapt. But here's the important distinction. Research shows this doesn't mean dogs feel empathy the way humans do. They don't share your emotions. They read them, not because they feel what you feel, but because it helps them respond correctly. National Geographic describes this phenomenon as emotional contagion. Your stress changes your behavior. Your behavior changes your dog's world. Research shows that when humans interact or simply hold eye contact, the brain releases oxytocin, a hormone linked to trust, bonding, and emotional regulation. And this process is bidirectional, from humans to dogs, and from dogs back to humans, a feedback loop, constantly shaping both sides. But dogs don't just align, they also show empathic-like responses. A 2020 study published in the Canadian Journal of Experimental Psychology found that when an owner, or even a stranger, pretended to cry or laugh, dogs consistently offered more attention. Through gaze, proximity, or gentle physical contact, toward the person who appeared distressed, not empathy, but alignment. Dogs don't absorb our feelings. They read them and adjust their behavior accordingly. Your dog doesn't feel your sadness, but it knows when the world has changed. It smells it, it hears it, it watches you adjust, and then it adjusts too. Understanding animals isn't about romance, it's about evidence and instinct.